Welcome back, everybody. They couldn't even wait a day this time. The very first day of the NHL season. And what is the breaking news? You would think it would be Connor Bedard, the young phenom, taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins in the face of the National Hockey League for over a decade, Sidney Crosby, as well as the Seattle Kraken versus the Vegas Golden Knights and the Nashville Predators against the Tampa Bay Lightning. But that's not the case because, of course, the only thing that matters is the LGBT. They're the only, I'll tell you, the LGBT, this is the most dangerous cult religion that exists on the planet today. I thought this was a joke. When I first saw this, I first went on to look up the NHL news for the day. I was utterly stunned to see that this was even a news story. The NHL bans Pride tape for the 2023-24 season. That's what's causing mass outrage in the mainstream media. These people act like they're the friggin', like they just got the nuclear bomb dropped on them, like they just got put in a Nazi concentration camp, beheaded, or thrown in a gas chamber. You're literally, we're talking about taping up your stick with with pride tape. That is leading to massive trans genocide and causing somebody to be a far right Nazi or fascist, and which is funny because, of course, the Nazi Party and fascism is left-wing politics. I mean, that's why the Nazi Party stands for National Socialist of the German Workers' Party. That's why the word Nazi stands for National Socialist. Anyway, what's interesting about this is the news breaks on October 10th today, the start of the 107th season of the NHL. Ivan Provorov, he started all this with the Philadelphia Flyers last year. Remember that? We covered it then. He's got the January 13th birthday. The same birthday as Kyle Beach, who led to which was foreshadowing that the Blackhawks would get Connor Bedard because, of course, well, I'll show you in a moment here. But he's got the same Ivan Provorov, Kyle Beach, Connor McDavid. They all have the same birthday. And Connor McDavid of the Oilers, of course, he has been an outspoken advocate for LGBT rights that they already have. And if you're in the mainstream media or you're in the mainstream spotlight, you have to be a far left dumbass and, protest for rights you already have. But anyway, this news comes 270 days after Provorov's birthday. And of course, hockey is for everyone. Sums to 270. This is the phrase you'll constantly, if you read some of these articles, that's what they'll keep spamming it on Twitter. You'll see probably bot accounts keep spamming. Hockey is not for everyone, or they'll use it sarcastically. It's a code word that means diversity, equity, and inclusion, which of course is a slogan for anti-white racism. That's what diversity, equity, and inclusion means. It means everyone except straight white people. And because the NHL is made up predominantly of straight white men, that means somehow the league is like racist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic, all these words that are not words that have been made up over the last couple years. Imagine being that much of a race hustler that you literally that a league is predominantly one race and you hate every second of it. Do these people also talk about the lack of diversity in the NBA? Because I got to tell you what, every time I watch an NBA game, I'm just so outraged at the fact there's all these blacks on the court. So again, some people are just extremely detached from reality. Does that prevent white people from playing basketball? I don't think so. But anyway, Connor Bedard, right? Remember, Connor Bedard, he's got the 113. Kyle Beach, who started all of this with the sexual assault allegations against the Blackhawks last year. And I said when that story first broke, this will be a tribute to the Blackhawks getting Connor Bedard for the upcoming 2023 NHL draft, landing the next phenom, the next superstar. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Then again, was he going to a small market? Was he going to Anaheim? Was he going to Columbus? I mean, come on. Of course he was going to a big market team. And then we saw Rocky Wirtz, the former owner of the Blackhawks. He dropped dead coincidentally right before the start of the season. The same year they get rid of Patrick Kane. They get rid of Jonathan Taves. They're getting rid of the whole Taves and Kane era, and they're bringing in the Bedard era. It was plain as day. And don't forget as well that another 67, 59 is Sidney Crosby, right? And that's who he's going up against. So it's got me, this game tonight. Would it surprise me if we got a 5-2 final or a 4-3 final? Usually, if from a gambling standpoint, if you're into gambling, a lot of times when there's a story about pride that comes up, a lot of times these games go in the over. There's 3 games in the NHL tonight. Are they all going to go on the over? Probably not. Could we see this happen with the Penguins and the Blackhawks? It's possible, but I'll show you what's interesting about this game. Right? Wayne Gretzky's 63, right? It's 63 date numerology today. And today is the 283rd day of the year, which is the 61st prime number. If the Pittsburgh Penguins win and beat the Blackhawks, which isn't going to surprise anybody, they're expected to do it, they'll get their 61st points all time in season opening games. And of course, the Chicago Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup in 61. Wayne Gretzky, when he retired, held 61 NHL records. Bedard possibly being considered to be a guy similar to Gretzky. It's very interesting. And in light of the home records as well, don't forget the Penguins. The Penguins can also get their 35th points on home ice, and that's a number that connects to Chicago. So I literally thought this was a joke when I saw it, but I clearly see it now. So we'll find out in a couple of hours whether or not this is true. But keep an eye on those 52s and 34s tonight. We'll see if we get one of those scores in one of these games. Chances are it's probably going to happen. People are always yelling and screaming out there. It's like trying to round up sheep around here sometimes. All right, guys. One thing before we get out of here. You know what's interesting? In light of Kyle Beach, see how Kyle Beach is 36? You guys see that? Kyle Beach is 36, right? Remember, Toronto is 36. Toronto's 36. Maple Leafs is 36. If Bedard goes scoreless in his first 3 games, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if he does, game 4 will be against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it's making me wonder, in light of how synced up it is with Kyle Beach, his career, their careers are interrelated. It makes me wonder if Bedard's not getting that first goal against the Maple Leafs. We will see. So in light of the NHL banning Pride tape, I want all the people who are upset about this, would you I wonder what these people's reaction would be. And I've said this before. I wonder what their reaction would be if the NHL and the world of hockey decided to support a pro-life night. We're going to have a pro-life night, and we're going to hand out Bibles to every fan in attendance and mandate and tell them the exact things that they say about the LGBT. Compliance is not an option. You have to wear a shirt that says abortion is murder. Choose life. Wouldn't that be the funniest shit of all time? I didn't even look at some of the other games. Let's see some of the other games tonight. Just take a look at the season opening records. We won't do the full decode here. We'll just Is Nashville home or are they away tonight? Let's see. Ooh, Predators down 1-0 to the Lightning. Okay. Interesting. We'll see if the Predators come back and win. They could get their 15th win in season opening games. Tampa's 15. They are playing in Tampa. Do they get it done? We'll see. Maybe. What's the Lightning's record look like? They could get their 42nd points. 20th win. All right. Not too much jumps out about that. Vegas. Well, if Vegas is upset, they could fall to 5-2. There's a potential 52 if Seattle pulls off an upset tonight. Seattle, of course, is only going to have 2 games. 0-1, 0-1, huh? Of course, ties no longer exist, so they're 0-1-1. Yeah, well, we'll see. Does Vegas? Of course, then again, I guess you could say as well, it's the 283rd day of the year in the 61st prime. Do they get to 6-1 in the season? I guess that's a possibility as well. That's part of where, when you look at these individual games, you could say, well, it could go this way or that way. But yeah, we will. So, there'll be one upset. There'll be at least one upset. But yeah, guys, we'll leave it there. We'll cover Bedard's scripted first goal when it happens. Keep an eye on those Maple Leafs this year. I'll talk to you guys soon. Till next time.